Chapter 1. This very old story begins with Arthur, a great king. He was a good man and he was king in the south of Britain. Other places were very dangerous at the time, but people did not fight in Arthur's country. Arthur loved a beautiful woman, Igraine, and he wants to marry her. But she did not love him, and he was very sad about that. Merlin was a very clever man and he knew a lot of magic. He could change into an animal or bird. Sometimes, when he used magic, nobody could see him. He also helped people with his magic, and one day he came to King Arthur. "You can marry Igraine," he said. "I will help you. But when you have a child, you will have to give the boy to me." "I will give him to you," said the king. He married Igraine and later they had a baby son. They called him Arthur. A short time after this happened, King Arthur was very ill. He did not get better. He called for Merlin because he wanted to talk about the future of his country. Merlin came and listened to the king. "I know that I am going to die," King Arthur said. "Who will be king after me?" "Call your knights and great men," Merlin told the king. "Tell them, my son, Arthur, will be the next king." King Arthur told his people this before he died. But a lot of people want to be king, so the knights and great men began to fight. There was no new king for a long time. When Arthur was a young man, Merlin went to London. He visited the Archbishop, the most important man in the crown. "Call the knights to London, then we will find the new king," Merlin told the Archbishop. The knights came to London. They made a large crowd, and the Archbishop spoke to them. When they came outside, they saw something strange in front of the crowd. It was a very large stone with a great sword in it. The sun shone on the sword, and it looked very strong. The knights were excited and started to talk about it. "Where did it from? How did it get from? Who brought the stone here? We didn't see nobody. And who put the sword in it? On the stone where the sword." Every knight tried to pull the sword out of the stone. Nobody could do it. The sword did not come out. The knights pulled and pulled, but they could not move the sword. "Our king is not here," said the Archbishop, "but I know that we will find him." The knights stayed and watched the stone. The Archbishop invited all the great men in the country to London for a big fight. There were many big fights at the time. People fought on horses with swords in their hands. The stones and best knight always won. "Perhaps the new king will come to the fight," thought the Archbishop. Sir Hector went to the fight with his two sons, Sir Kay and young Arthur. Arthur was now 16 years old. The young man wants to fight with the other other knights, but Sir Kay did not have a sword. Arthur was a kind young man. He wants to help. There is a sword in a stone outside a crunch. I saw it on the way here. I will get it and fight with it. Then you can have my sword, he said to his brother. Arthur left Sir Kay and quickly went to the crunch. There were no knights outside by the stone, because they were at the fight. Arthur climbed down from his horse and went to the stone. He did not read the words on the stone. He took the sword in his hand and pulled. It came out of the stone easily. He ran back to his horse with the sword. Some minutes later, he met Sir Kay and Sir Ector again, and he showed them the sword. Where did that sword come from? Sir Ector asked. He knew about the words on the stone. They went back to the place outside the crunch, and Sir Ector put the sword in the stone again. Now pull it out, he said to Arthur. Arthur pulled it out. It came out as easily as a knife out of butter. Sir Ector saw this and took Arthur's hand. You are my king, he said. Arthur did not understand. What did his father mean? Arthur, Sir Ector said slowly, I love you very much, but I'm not really your father. Merlin, the famous man of magic, brought you to me when you were a small child. I took you into my family because he asked me. Now I know that you are the king. I will try to be a king, said Arthur. I will listen to your words, because you are my father. Sir Kay, my brother, you will be an important knight and a friend to me. Then they went to the archbishop and told him everything. The knights were angry. They did not know that Arthur was really the king. So the archbishop called all the knights to the stone. Arthur put the sword back in the stone. Every knight tried again to take it out, but it did not move. Then they watched and Arthur pulled it out easy. Everybody shouted, Arthur is king! Arthur is king! Many people come to see Arthur. They were happy because now they had a kind, good king. He was strong and he was not afraid. Merlin told Arthur the story of his parents. Your father was King Arthur and your mother was Queen Igraine. When you were a baby, I took you to Avalon, a magic place. You were born with magic in your life. You will be the best knight and you will be the great king. You will live for a very long time. So King Arthur began a new life. He took his horse and went through the country with his knight. Sometimes they had to fight and battle men, but they were not afraid. Arthur was a good king, and his knights were brave. His country was a quick place again. Chapter 2. King Arthur went to the north and the east with his knight and fought the Saxons. Then they came back and stopped in the town of Camelot. Arthur made it the most important town in the country. It was now his home, and the home of his brave knights. One day, King Arthur visited his friend, King Leodegar Grant. He had a daughter, and she was the most beautiful woman in England. The daughter's name was Guinevere. When she went back to Camelot, Arthur could not stop thinking about her. "I love Guinevere, and I want to marry her," Arthur told Merlin. King Leodegar was very happy. Arthur was a good and brave man, a good husband for his lovely daughter. So Arthur and Guinevere went to the crowns, and the Ashibur married him. Everybody enjoyed a wonderful party in Camelot. The Merlin made a large round table for King Arthur's knights in Camelot. There were placed at the great wood and stone table. King Arthur gave his best and bravest knight and place at the round table. Each knight had his place at the table, but no chair was better than another chair. Nobody sat at the top of a round table, and nobody sat at the bottom. The names of the kings of the round table will be famous, cried Merlin. Some knights died, and other brave and good knights come to Camelot. One day a new knight, Sir Pellinore, arrived at Camelot, and Arthur gave him a place at the round table. For a long time there was one place with no knights. Merlin could see into the future. "Only a good knight, your best knight, will sit here," Merlin told King Arthur. "The place is for your best knight, and he will come to it." After many years, Sir Galahad came and sat at the place at the round table.
Chapter 3. The Sword Excalibur. The king went round the country on his horse. He met the people and helped them. One day he came to a great wood. When evening came, King Arthur was not out of the wood. Then he saw a very big, beautiful castle in front of him. He went near, and the great door of the castle opened. A woman came out. "King Arthur," she said, I'm Queen Aminah. Stay in my castle. It is getting dark. I will give you food and a bed for the night." Arthur was hungry and thirsty. He was also tired. He looked at the dark sky. "Thank you," he said, and he went in. The queen was kind to Arthur. She took his horse and gave him food and water. She took Arthur to the dining room of the castle and gave him bread, meat, and wine. Then one Queen Anoa man took the king to the bedroom, and Arthur went to sleep. The next morning, after breakfast, Queen Anoa wants to see Arthur. "I would like to show you my castle and beautiful things in it," she said. "I'm rich person in the world. Look, everything here is mine." Arthur looked at her castle. They went off room to room, and each room was richer than the room before that. There are beautiful things everywhere. Queen Anoa knew a lot of magic, so she could make beautiful things. They Then they came out to the top of the castle. "Look at those beautiful trees and gardens," said the queen. "And look those woods. They are mine too. This is my country. And can you see that great wall round the castle? Stay with me and be king here. You cannot leave. The door of castle is shut, and that great wall will stop you. Men are ready. Do not leave, or they will kill you. Your magic cannot hurt me, and me cannot kill me," answered King Arthur. Then, with this sword in his hand and his helmet on his head, Arthur went out of the castle and through the door. In the great wheel, nobody could stop him. Queen Aminah sent one of her to Sir Paleno. He lived near her castle, and he had a place at King Arthur's round table. Queen Aminah said that a very bad knight is on his way to her castle. He wants to kill her and take her money. He is very near here, and he will go past your house. Please go out and fight him, you're my queen." The man said, "The Sir Paleno." So Paleno sat on his horse and waited. He did not know King Arthur was the very bad knight. Arthur met Paleno on the road. "Sir Knight," cried Arthur, "why are you waiting here? Do you want to fight me?" "Yes," said Sir Paleno, and he took his sword in his hand. Paleno hit the king with his sword, and Arthur fell from his horse. He stopped up. He was very hungry and pulled out his sword. They had a long fight, and then the king's sword broke. "Huh?" cried Sir Paleno. "That is end of the fight. I can kill you now." Arthur, they threw down the sword. He ran Sir Paleno and threw him on the ground. Two men were very tired, but they fought for a little longer. Then Arthur put the foot on the Paleno's hand. Arthur took its help from his heart, so Paleno could see his face. "Shall I kill you?" Arthur said. Paleno looked up and saw Arthur's face. "My king," he cried, "I did not know it was you." Queen Aminah want to me fight and bad knight of this road. "I'm not that bad king, big bad Khan. But I know you did not want to kill you king," said King Arthur. Then the two men were friends again. Sir Paleno heard King Arthur in the fight, so Merlin visits Arthur. In 3 days, Arthur was well again. "My sword broken in the fight," Arthur told Merlin. "That sword was not important," said Merlin. "Come with me, and you will find the best sword in the world. It's magic sword from Avalon, the place of magic." The king went with Merlin, took a dark wood. The trees shut out the light from the sun, and Arthur could not see the sky. After a long time, they came to an open place in the mountains. There were no trees, but Arthur saw a straight lake. The water is very blue, and there were flowers next to it. No, go to the lake, Merlin told Arda. So Arda left his horse with Merlin and walked down to the magic lake. He looked across the quiet blue water, and there is, in the center of the lake, he suddenly saw an arm with a beautiful sword in the hand. Go and take it, said Merlin. It is sword Excalibur, the lady of the lake made it for you. She lived in her calm in water of the lake. A lovely young man walked across the water and stood and groaned the next Arda. I am the lady of the lake, sword what Excalibur is waiting for you. There was a boat of the water. King Arthur got into it and ran to Mike of the lake to the lake sword, and arm went to the water. Then Arthur came back to Merlin. The lady of the lake was not there. The sword was inside a scar, but it was very beautiful things. That is magic, scarlet, said Merlin. No, man can kill a person with the scabbard. He have it with you always become an evil. Woman will try to take the scribe and the sword away from you. King Arthur and Merlin went home again. Arthur knights listened happily to the stories of these journeys. Morgan, Chapter 4. Morgan Le Fay. Morgan Le Fay was a queen. What is castle on the country is of course. She was a very bad woman. She could do magic, but she only used her magic from bad things. King Arthur did not know that Morgan Le Fay hardened him. She wanted King Arthur to die. Today. She is a kind friend, told King Arthur. He didn't know about her evil plans. One day, they went out on his horse of the woods. He wanted to kill animals, so she did not take his word. He left Excalibur and Queen Morgan Le Fay at her castle. I will come on, get in on my way home. Her told her. Arthur went on this horse in front of him. Man, he went a long way into the dark woods, and then he could not find the way out again. When night came, he could not see him anywhere. Arthur came back to them. He saw a small light on the lake, and he moved near and near to it. The light was a beautiful ship. I will go into the ship, thought Arthur. When he was inside, he saw food and drink on the table and a bed, but he could not see anybody there. I was late. King Arthur was tired. I will stay here tonight. They took into the morning. I will find my way out of the woods. Then I will get Excalibur and go home. So she let go dinner on the ship and then went to sleep. But when he woke up in the morning, he was not in the ship. He was a little room with a very small window. He did not know this place. The door was shut, so he could not get out. There were three knights in the room. This is castle of Sir Damas. He is very evil knight. He caught us too and put us here one of the kind to other. Then Sir Damas wants us to fight for him. Then we can leave the castle, or we will stay here and die.
When Arthur was ready, he went outside. He saw another knight there, but he did not know him. He could not see the knight's face behind his helmet. Who is this knight? Which castle does he come from? Which king sent him? Thought Arthur. The other knight also did not know King Arthur under his helmet. The fight began. King Arthur was not happy. He could not hurt the other knight with his sword, because the sword was not Excalibur. It was a sword from Morgan Le Fay's magic. It looked the same as Excalibur, but it was different. When the other knight hit Arthur with his sword, it hurt him. Arthur felt very weak. His sword is very strong, thought Arthur. King Arthur was very brave, and he did not stop fighting. Many people came and watched the fight, but then Arthur's sword broke. He fell into the ground. Sir, the other knights cried, say that I am the winner, then I will not kill you. No, cried Arthur, I will fight and fight. King Arthur took the end of his sword. He hit the knight on the head as hard as he could with it. The knight fell back and hit the ground. His sword fell from his hand, and Arthur quickly took it. When he felt the sword in his hand, he knew it was Excalibur. Then Arthur saw his scabbard next to the knight. He jumped up and took that too. Tell me, who are you? What is your name? Asked Arthur. The knight stood up and answered, I am Sir Accolon, knight of the Round Table. I am one of King Arthur's knights. Tell me, why did you fight me? Your king? Sure, I did not know you. I came here because Queen Morgan Le Fay sent me. She said to me, King Arthur is in the castle of Sir Damas. You have to go and fight Sir Damas. Then he will not kill your king. Now I know that you are not Sir Damas. I am very sorry, said Sir Accolon. And who gave you that sword? Asked Arthur. Queen Morgan Le Fay gave it to me. She said, here is King Arthur's sword Excalibur and its scabbard. Take them for the fight, then you will fight well, and your king can leave the castle of the evil knight Sir Damas. King Arthur was very angry when he heard Accolon's story. I know now that you did not want to kill me, Sir Accolon. You are a brave knight. Now I understand Morgan Le Fay's evil plan. I had a conversation with Merlin, the man of good magic. I have to be careful with my sword and scabbard, he said, but I did not listen. King Arthur went back to Sir Damas' castle with Sir Accolon, and they found the three knights. There was a great fight with Sir Damas. King Arthur won with Excalibur, but after the fight he had a lot of wounds. Bring Sir Damas to me, said the king. Sir Damas came to King Arthur. Why did you want me to fight for you? Why did I have to fight Sir Accolon, one of my knights? King Arthur asked him. Because Queen Morgan Le Fay wanted it, answered Sir Damas. You are not a brave man, said Arthur, and now you will not be a knight. I am taking your castle from you, and everything in it. I am going to give it to your younger brother. Then King Arthur left. He did not go to Camelot because he wanted to get well first. Morgan Le Fay went to stay at Camelot, and King Arthur was not there. King Arthur is dead now, she thought. But then her men came to Camelot, and they told her about the fight. King Arthur did not die in the fight. they said. Morgan Le Fay went to Queen Guinevere and said, I have to go back to my country now. My people want me there. Queen Guinevere knew nothing about Morgan Le Fay's magic and her evil ideas. Don't go, she answered. The king is coming back to Camelot. I think he will be here tomorrow or the next day. He will be happy when he sees you. No, no, said Morgan Le Fay. I cannot stay. I have to go. And so she left Camelot on her black horse. Morgan Le Fay and her black horse did not stop that day or that night. When she met people on her journey, she asked them, Where is King Arthur? Tell me, where is the king? After a long time, she heard about him. The king is ill, a man told her. He fought a knight at Sir castle. The knight wounded King Arthur, so he cannot go back to Camelot. He is staying with the nuns. They are good women, and he will get better there with their help. The nuns worked for the church and helped people. They were very kind and lived in a large, quiet house. People could stay there when they wanted their help. Morgan Le Fay said thank you to the men and went to visit the nuns. I am on a long journey and I am hungry and thirsty, she said. Please, can I eat something? The nuns brought food and drink and gave it to Morgan Le Fay. Is there another visitor here? She asked. Yes, the nun said. King Arthur is here. A knight's sword wounded him in a fight. He will live when his wounds are better. He is sleeping. You can speak to him when he wakes up. Oh, the king, Morgan Le Fay cried. I cannot wait because I have to go home. But please, can I look at him? I love our king and I would like to see him. We cannot wake up the king. He is in his bed and he is ill, said one of the nuns. Please let me sit next to him for a minute or two. I want to see his face, asked Morgan Le Fay again. The nun thought about it. Yes, all right, you can go and look at him, but do not make any noise. Do not wake him up. Morgan Le Fay went into King Arthur's room. She stood next to him and watched him. The king was asleep, but he has his hand on Excalibur. She could not take the sword away because she did not want to wake him. Then she saw the scabbard at the end of the bed. Quickly, she took it and put it under her clothes. Nobody could see it there. She went out of the room and said thank you and goodbye to the nuns. Then Morgan Le Fay got on her black horse and left. Later, when King Arthur opened his eyes, he could not see the scabbard. Something is wrong, he thought. Where is the scabbard of my sword Excalibur? He was very angry and called a nun. Did anybody come into this room when I was asleep? He asked her. Queen Morgan Le Fay came, she said, but no other person. She could not stay, but she came into the room. She loves you, and she wanted to see your face. Thank you, said the king. Thank you for your help. I came here to your house when I was ill. You were kind and good to me. My wounds are getting better, but I have to go now. It is important. I have to follow Queen Morgan Le Fay. When she visited me in my room, she took the scabbard of my sword Excalibur. The nuns did not want him to leave because he was not ready, but they helped him into his horse and he left their house. King Arthur did not stop for hours. Then he came forth to a river. There was a man there with his animals. Did anybody come this way? Asked the king. Yes, answered the man. A beautiful woman came on a black horse. She went across the river here very quickly and did not stop. King Arthur went over the river through woods and up a mountain. Then he looked down and he saw Morgan Le Fay a long way away. Morgan Le Fay looked back and she saw the king. The ground was hard and there were a lot of stones. She went across the stones and arrived at a lake. The lake was black. No animal drank the water. No birds sang in the trees. Queen Morgan Le Fay got off her black horse and took out the scabbard of the King Arthur's sword, Excalibur. She threw it into the water. King Arthur will never have it, she cried. That scabbard will not help him. Now, when men fight him, nobody will find it here, at the bottom of this lake. Then she quickly went away on her horse, back to her castle. King Arthur followed Morgan Le Fay and came to the same place. He could not see the queen. Which way did she go? King Arthur thought. Where did the horse go? I cannot follow the horse feet across the stones. King Arthur looked and looked. He saw nothing, so he went home to Camelot without his scabbard. King Arthur had Excalibur, but because of the evil queen, he did not have the magic scabbard. It stayed at the bottom of the black lake, and he never found it.
Chapter 5 Vivien and Merlin. When King Arthur was a young man, Merlin, the man of magic, helped him in every way. He taught him to be a good king and brave knight. Merlin helped Arthur to be kind to everybody in his country, so they all loved him. With Merlin's help, Arthur built the beautiful city, Camelot. Camelot had roads and houses and a great castle. Later, when Merlin was an old man, he came to King Arthur again. I have to say goodbye now, said Merlin. Goodbye? Why, Merlin? Asked King Arthur. I am going to die, Merlin told him. I will not always be here. In the future, when you make mistakes, my magic will not help you. Oh, Merlin, said King Arthur sadly. I do not want you to go. I am going to down in a dark cave, and I cannot come back from that cave. But Merlin, King Arthur cried, you know a lot of magic. Can you not stop this? Do you have to die? I cannot stop it, answered Merlin. You have to be a strong king without me now. After Merlin spoke to King Arthur, Lady Vivien came to Camelot before this time. She lived with the Lady of the Lake. The Lady of the Lake made Excalibur, and she knew a lot of magic. Vivien learned magic from the Lady of the Lake. She went to Camelot and studied with Merlin. When she knew all Merlin's magic, she thought, he is an old man. I cannot kill him because his magic is strong. But I can send him away somewhere so he cannot come back. Then I will have the greatest and strongest magic in the world. Vivien went on a long journey with Merlin to another country. They climbed a high gray mountain and came to a dark place with a lot of trees and a small river. There they saw a magic cave inside the mountain. The mouth of the cave is open now, said Merlin to Vivien. When you say the magic words, the mouth of the cave will shut. I know these magic words, but which words will open it again? Asked Vivian. I do not know, said Merlin. I want to look inside the cave, Vivian said. Please come with me. Show me the way. So Merlin went into the cave first, but Vivian ran out quickly. She shouted the magic words, and the mouth of the cave shut loudly. Merlin was inside and could not get out. Some people say that the great Merlin is there now, inside the cave. One day, they say somebody will break open the big stone door of the cave. Then Merlin will come out again and help the world with his magic. He will, they say, teach everybody to be a good and happy. But after that, said they, King Arthur had no help from his friend Merlin. Chapter 6. Sir Melicorange. It was the month of May. The weather was warm and the sky was blue. The flowers looked very beautiful in the sun. Queen Guinevere called her 10 knights and her ladies and said, "Let's enjoy this beautiful day. We can look for some lovely spring flowers. Let's take some food and drink and have a party in the wood." So Guinevere left the castle with her knights and her ladies. Some boys from the castle went with them and carried their things. All day they enjoyed the sun. In the afternoon, they sat under the tall green trees. They ate and they talked. Then evening came. "Now let's go home," the queen said. "King Arthur is waiting for us at Camelot." They were all ready, when suddenly 20 men with swords and helmet jumped out from the trees. "Stand here and do not move," one of the men shouted, "or we will kill you all." It was Sir Melicorange with his men. He loved Queen Guinevere and he wanted to take her to his castle. "I love you," he said, "and you are here without the king." "Sir Melicorange," cried the queen, "King Arthur made you a knight of the Round Table. A knight has to be a good man. How can you take away your king's wife?" "I only know that I love you. My men will help me." "They will fight your knights," answered Sir Melicorange. Guinevere's 10 knights turned to Sir Melicorange. "We will not stand here when you take our queen away, sir. We will stop you." Sir Melicorange and his men had better swords and helmets than Guinevere's knights. His men were ready. Guinevere's men were only there for the flowers. The fight began. Guinevere's knights were brave and fought hard, but they could not win. Sir Melicorange's men were too strong for them, and there were 20 of them. They wounded all Guinevere's good knights in the fight. "Stop!" cried Guinevere to her knights, "or they will kill you." She looked at Sir Melicorange and, "All right, Sir Melicorange, I will come with you." She was very angry and afraid. "Come with me, my brave knights, to Sir Melicorane's castle." So Queen Guinevere and her people went to the castle. But first the queen spoke to one of the boys. "You have a good fast horse," she said to him quickly. "Go quickly to Camelot. Tell the king and Sir Lancelot." Sir Melicoraine saw the boy when he left, but his men could not catch him. The boy arrived at Camelot and saw Sir Lancelot. Sir Lancelot was the strongest of King Arthur's knights. When he heard the story, Lancelot quickly put his helmet on his head and took his sword. "I will go now to Sir Melicorane's castle and find the queen," said Sir Lancelot to the boy. "Go and tell the king." When Lancelot came near the castle, he thought Sir Melicorane's men will wait next to the road. "They will come out when I go past, so I will not to take the road. I will go through the wood." Lancelot was right. Sir Melicorane's men waited by the road, but they did not see the knight. Sir Melicorane saw Lancelot outside the castle. His men were by the road, and suddenly he was afraid. Lancelot was brave and strong. He could fight Sir Melicorane and win. So Sir Melicorane went to Queen Guinevere and said, "Oh, my queen, I'm sorry. Please say you are not angry with me. I will take you back to Camelot and I will fight for King Arthur. I want to be a good knight." The queen did not know about Lancelot and Sir Melicorane's men, so she answered, "Yes, you are sorry. I can see that. I will not be angry with you." When Lancelot arrived at the castle, Guinevere told him, "I am not angry with Melicoraine now. Let's stay here tonight and we will go back to Camelot tomorrow morning." Sir Lancelot was very angry and Sir Melicoraine knew it. "Sir Lancelot will kill me when the queen leaves the castle," he thought. They eat in the castle's great dining room. When they finished the dinner, Sir Melicoraine said to Lancelot, "I will take you to your room and you can sleep." He showed Lancelot into a room with a door in the floor. Sir Lancelot put his foot on the door and it opened. He fell into a little room below the door and he could not climb up again. Sir Melicoraine went to the queen. Sir Lancelot did not want to stay here. He went back to Camelot, he told her. The next day, Queen Guinevere went come to Camelot with Sir Melicoraine. When they arrived, they saw King Arthur. "Your knights are saying that Sir Melicoraine took you away to his castle," said King Arthur. "Yes," Queen Guinevere told King Arthur. "Melicoraine took me to his castle and my knights fought for me. But Melicoraine had a lot of men and they were too strong for us. But he is sorry, so I am not angry with him now." "Tell me, Sir Melicoraine," Arthur asked, "are the queen's knights right? What happened when you met Queen Guinevere in the wood with her knights and ladies?" Sir Melicoraine answered, "I did not Take the queen away, King Arthur. She come with me because she loves me. The king was angry with Sir Meliagrange. A girl in Sir Meliagrange's castle carried food to Sir Lancelot every day. She liked him because he was strong and brave. So when Sir Meliagrange took Guinevere to Camelot, the girl opened the door in the floor. Sir Meliagrange left the room and went quickly back to King Arthur's castle.
The king was with the queen and his knight in the great dining room when Sir Lancelot came in. He saw Sir Meliagrange there, and was angry. He looked at Sir Meliagrange. "You took away Queen Guinevere to your castle," cried Sir Lancelot. "She is not angry with you now, so I will not kill you for that. But now you say that she loves you. For this I will kill you. I am the strongest of King Arthur's knights, so I will fight you without a helmet, but I will win." Sir Meliagrange quickly moved closer to Sir Lancelot. He hit the other knight's head with his sword because he had no helmet. But Lancelot jumped away and cut Sir Meliagrange's helmet in two, and Sir Meliagrange fell to the ground, dead. Chapter 7. Sir Tristram. One day, the king of Lyonesse went into the woods because he wanted to catch animals. He made a long journey. At the end of the day, he could not find the road home. His queen waited in their castle, but he did not come back. "Where is the king?" she thought. "He knows that I'm going to have a child." So the queen went out into the woods and looked for a king. She walked a long way and began to feel very tired. In the evening, she slept under a tree. There her baby boy was born. "I'm going to die," she thought. "I'm very ill." She took the baby in her arms. "Oh, my little son," cried the queen. "I will give you the name Tristram. It means sad. And I am sad. I know I am not going to live, but you, my dear child, will be a brave knight when you are a man." The king found a way back to his castle, but the queen was not there. His men went into the woods and looked for her. They found the queen and the child under a tree and took them back to the castle. The queen told the king the baby's name, and then she died. For many days, the king did not speak or eat. "He will die too," people said, "and the little boy Tristram will be our king." But after a long time, the king began to enjoy life again. 7 years later, the king of Lyonesse married again, and the new queen had a son. She loved her son very much, but she did not like Tristram, the son of her husband's first wife. One day, the queen thought of a plan. She made a drink for Tristram and put some poison in it. "He will think it is wine," she thought, "but when he drinks it, he will die." She put the glass on the table, ready for Tristram. "Everything is ready," she thought. "Good." But the queen's son came into the room before Tristram. He was very thirsty,
and he drank from the glass. Then he fell on the floor and died. The queen tried to kill Tristram a second time. Again she put some poison into his drink. She put the glass on the table and again waited for Tristram. This time the king came into the room. He put his hand out to the glass of wine, but the queen cried, "Do not drink it!" The king suddenly remembered his second son. There was poison in his drink. Then he understood the queen's evil plan. You wanted to kill Tristram, but your son drank the poison. So you tried to kill Tristram again, but I nearly drank it. The king was very angry. "Make a fire! Take the queen and put her in it," he shouted to his men. But when the fire was ready, Tristram came to his father. He fell down at his father's feet. "Father, don't do this. Take your wife back. Love her, and she will love you. She hates me, so send me away. Then you will be happy again." So Tristram went to live with his father's brother, Mark. Mark was king of Cornwall. He loved Tristram, and Tristram loved his uncle. He was happy there. When he arrived there, Tristram was a boy. Some years later, he was a strong, brave man. The King of Ireland also had a son, Sir Marhaus. Nobody could fight him and win. One day, Sir Marhaus came across the sea to King Mark's castle. "I am the best and strongest knight in Ireland. Send a knight to me and I will fight him. Then you will see." Not one of King Mark's knights wanted to fight Sir Marhaus. Then Tristram went to his uncle and said, "I am not a boy now. I am a man. Make me a knight and send me. I can fight Sir Marhaus and win." King Mark thought for a long time. "I do not want to send you, but the other knight will not fight him," he said. So the king made his brother's son, Tristram, a knight, and Tristram got ready for the fight. Many people came and watched the two men. They fought with their swords all day. Sir Marhaus was strong, but he was older than Sir Tristram. He was not as quick on his feet. He could not hit Tristram. The sun was hot, and Sir Marhaus started to feel tired. Tristram's sword cut through Sir Marhaus' helmet and killed him. His men took the dead man away to his ship. Sir Marhaus also wanted Tristram badly in the fight, and the young man was very ill. There was poison in the wound. Nobody could make Sir Tristram's wound better. After some time, an old woman came and looked at it. She said, "Ah, the poison in this wound came from Ireland. Send your knights there, and somebody will make him better." So King Mark sent Sir Tristram in a ship to Ireland. Sir Tristram used another name because he killed the son of the King of Ireland. On the ship, Sir Tristram looked out the green sea water. Birds flew in the sky. He took his harp and began to play a song. He played the harp very beautiful. When his ship came near Ireland, the king heard the sound of the music. He asked Tristram to his castle because he wanted his daughter to play the harp. "Where did you get that wood?" the King of Ireland asked. "Some bad men followed me on my journey," said Tristram. He could not tell the king about his fight with Sir Marhaus. "I will ask my daughter, Isolde, to make your wound better. Then will you teach her to play the harp?" "Yes, sir," said Tristram. The king told his daughter about his idea. "I will be a good student, father," said Isolde. She carefully cleaned the wound and stayed near Tristram's bed for many days and nights. Then, when he was well again, Tristram taught Isolde the harp. She enjoyed playing it and learned well. They were very happy. Tristram liked Isolde very much, and she liked him too. Isolde knew another knight. His name was Sir Palomides. He loved Isolde and wanted to marry her. He asked her again and again. She did not like him, but he did not listen to her. One day, there was a big fight between the great men and knights in the country. A lot of people watched this fight. The knights were on the horses, with swords in their hands. Sir Palomides wanted to fight. He had a black helmet and black clothes, and he sat on a black horse. Tristram had a white helmet, white clothes, and a white horse. The two knights began to fight. Sir Tristram moved quickly and hit Sir Palomides with his sword. The black knight fell off his horse onto the ground. Then Tristram stood over him with his sword. "Leave here! Do not speak to Isolde again, or I will kill you," he cried. After the fight, Sir Tristram went back to Cornwall. He told his uncle about Isolde. "So, Isolde is beautiful and kind. I can marry Isolde, and then the King of Ireland and I will be friends. It will be good for our two countries." King Mark said, "Ask the King of Ireland for me." So Tristram went back to Ireland. "King Mark wants to marry. Will you give him your lovely daughter, Isolde? He is a good man, and he will love her," Tristram said to the King of Ireland. "Yes, it will be a good thing for this country and for Cornwall," answered the King of Ireland, and he sent Isolde to King Mark. Tristram took Isolde on his ship. He played beautiful song and his harp for her. Tristram loved Isolde and she loved him. "I can marry you because you are going to marry King Mark, but he is a good man, and he will love you well," said Tristram. After many days at sea, the ship came to Cornwall. "I have to leave you now, dear Isolde," Tristram said sadly. "I am going away to Camelot. I want to be a knight of the Round Table. I will fight for King Arthur. But please remember this. I am your friend, and I will always love you. When you want my help, I will come."
So I should marry King Mark. He gave her many lovely things. But one day Sir Palomides suddenly arrived and carried Isolde away on his horse. Another knight went after him, and Sir Palomides followed him. As she ran away, she ran and ran through the wood. "Night is coming," thought Isolde. "Nobody will find me here in the dark wood." She sat down and cried. Then she saw a lake. "I will jump into the water and die. Then that evil Sir Palomides cannot hurt me or take me away." Isolde stood by the lake and looked into the cold water. She heard the sound of a horse and turned round. It was not Sir Palomides, it was another knight. "Who are you?" asked Isolde. She was afraid. "I am Sir Arthur," answered the knight.
Why are you here in the wood at night, Queen Isolde? Do not be afraid. I will not hurt you. I hope I can help you. I ran away from Sir Palomares. He wants to take me away. Oh, please help me. It is dangerous for you here, Sir Ratap said. Come with me to my castle. Later that night, Sir Palomares arrived at the castle of Sir Ratap. Burn the doors, he shouted, but nobody answered. Sir Tristram was on his way to Camelot when a man ran to him. Sir Palomares took Isolde away, he said. Tristram was very angry. He went back to Cornwall quickly and looked for Isolde. He saw a knight on the ground in a wood. Sir Palomares wanted me in a fight, said the man. Tristram gave the brave knight a drink of water. Where did Isolde go? Sir Tristram asked the knight. I do not know, answered the knight. She ran away when she saw the fight. I have to find her, said Sir Tristram, and he jumped back on his horse. He came to a lake and looked at the ground. Isolde was here, he thought. Another person on a horse. I will follow them. After a short time he came to a castle. Outside the castle was Sir Palomares. Sir Palomares saw Sir Tristram and followed him, but Sir Tristram was stronger. Tristram threw Palomares off his horse, and the evil knight fell down to the ground. Sir Palomares stood up and pulled his sword out of its scabbard. Then Tristram got off his horse and took out his sword. The two men fought there in front of the castle. Isolde was inside the castle. She heard the noise of the fight and looked down from her window. Tristram is here, she cried. He will help me. She watched the fight. Palomares fell again, and Tristram stood over him with his sword. No! Shouted Isolde loudly. Do not kill him! Sir Ratap's men opened the castle doors, and Isolde ran outside. Please do not kill him, counselled Tristram. He fought bravely. Send him to King Arthur, and he will learn to be a good knight. Then he can fight for the king. I will do this for you, answered Tristram. So Sir Palomares went to Camelot and learned to be a very good knight. Sir Tristram took Isolde to King Mark, and he stayed in Cornwall with them, but the king began to be afraid of him. Sir Tristram is young and brave, he thought. He vowed Sir Palomares for my Queen Isolde. Perhaps now she will love Tristram and will not love me. One day Tristram went with Isolde to the beach. King Mark followed them there and watched them. Tristram played a beautiful song for Isolde on his harp. She listened with a smile on her face. Suddenly King Mark came with this word. Why are you singing love songs to my wife? He shouted. I'm going to kill you for this. Tristram held no sword and could not stop King Mark. The king wanted Tristram very badly, and he fell at Isolde's feet and died. Day after day, Isolde sat and looked at the sea. She did not eat or drink. She did not speak to anybody again. She cried because Tristram was dead. Then she died too. When King Arthur heard the story of Tristram and Isolde, he was very sorry. Tristram was a brave knight of the Round Table. Arthur was very angry with King Mark, so he sent another knight to Cornwall. That knight killed him. Chapter 8. The Grail. King Arthur and his knights of the Round Table were in Camelot. One day an old man with white hair and in white clothes came to the king. "My king, I'm bringing you a young knight. He is the son of a great man, and he will do great things." The king saw a young man. He wore red clothes and a red helmet, and his face was very beautiful. For a long time there was one place at the Round Table without a knight at it. Years before, Merlin said, "Only a good knight, your best knight, will sit there. The place is for your best knight, and he will come to it." This was the only place with no name on it. The old man took the young knight to the place at the Round Table. There was a name there for the first time. It said in gold letters, "Sir Galahad." "Sit here," said the old man. Then he left King Arthur and the knights of the Round Table, and nobody saw him again. "Who is this young man? Why is he sitting there? Why is he not afraid?" asked the king. "Does anybody know him?" "I know him," said Sir Lancelot. "When I was on a journey, a nun came outside with this young man. She brought him to me and said, 'His name is Galahad. He has to be a knight. It is very important.' Then she took him inside again. The other knights looked at Galahad, and they looked at Sir Lancelot. Their two faces were nearly the same. Sir Lancelot married when he was very young, remembered one of the knights. "This is Sir Lancelot's son." Sir Lancelot smiled at his son but said nothing. King Arthur made Galahad a knight, and they all sat down at the Round Table. Suddenly they heard a loud noise. Then there was a great white light. They looked up and saw a gold cup above the table. What was it? Where did it come from? And then suddenly it was not there. Nobody spoke. Then Sir Galahad said, "There is the Grail, and it is in this country. I will go out and look for it. I will come back when I find it." "We will go with you," said Sir Lancelot, Sir Bors, and Sir Percival. King Arthur was very sad. He looked round the Round Table at this night. Then he spoke to them. "We were brothers, but this will be the end of our Round Table. You are leaving, and I will not see you again." The four knights got on their horses and left Camelot. For many years they looked for the Grail, but they found nothing. Other knights also left and looked for the Grail. Nobody found it, and some knights never came back to Camelot. The Round Table was different now. and King Arthur was very sad. After many years, Sir Galahad, Sir Percival, and Sir Bors came to a place near the sea. They looked down and saw a ship. It was evening, but white light shone from the ship. "I know that we are going to find the Grail," said Sir Galahad. They went down to the sea and onto the ship. There on a table was the Grail. They were all very excited. "Look!" cried Sir Galahad. "Here is the Grail now. We can end our journey." The knights were all very tired and they fell asleep. The ship went out to sea. The next morning, when the knights woke up, they were near a great city. "We have to take the Grail into the city," said Sir Galahad. So they took the Grail and left the ship.
There was no king in that country, because the dead king had no son. The great men sat in the castle and talked about the problem. When the King Arthur's knights arrived at the castle with the Grail, everybody was excited. Then an old man came into the castle. He had white clothes and white hair. The knights knew him when they saw him. "These three knights are here at the end of a long journey," said the old man, "and they have the Grail. Take the youngest knight, a very brave man, and make him your king." Then the old man left. Nobody saw him, and nobody saw him go. So Sir Galahad was now the new king. "I found the Grail, and I'm happy now," Sir Galahad said. He built a beautiful curse and put the Grail in it. Then the old man came to him again. "Your work is done. Now you are going to die," he said. Sir Galahad was not afraid. In the morning they found him dead in front of the Grail, and his face was very happy. Sir Bors went back to Camelot. "We found the Grail and do not have to look for it now," to hold King Arthur. Many other knights also come back and sat on the round table again. King Arthur was happy, but he was also sad. "I know that the round table is coming. Many brave knights are dead, and no new knights will come and take their place," King Arthur said sadly. One day, King Arthur and Sir Gawain, one of his knights, went to France. Sir Lancelot was in France at that time, and King Arthur was angry with him. He wanted to fight him there. When Arthur was away, the evil knight Sir Mother came to Camelot. He wanted to take Queen Guinevere away. "King Arthur is dead," he told the queen. "He died in France in a fight. I am now king, and you will be my queen." "I will die first," cried the queen. Guinevere ran away to the castle in London, and her knights went with her. Mother came to London with his men, but the walls of the castle were very strong, and he could not get inside. Then one of Mordred's men came to him and said, "King Arthur is coming back to England with his men and a lot of ships." Mother went to Dover with his men and waited for King Arthur. There was no great fight, but Sir Mother's men could not win. They ran away, but one of Sir Mother's men won. Sir Gawain and King Arthur found the brave knight of the ground. "I'm dying. Give me a pen and paper. I want to write to Sir Lancelot." Sir Mordred found more men, and they waited for
Arthur at the place near a lake. King Arthur knew the place. Excalibur come from the lake. One of night before the fight, Arthur saw Sir Gawain in his sleep. Gawain spoke to him, "Do not fight, mother, now. In 1 month, Lancelot will come with his men. He will help you, and then the queen can go back to Camelot." The king called his knights and told them about Sir Gawain. "We will not fight today. I will go and speak with mother. Come with me and bring your sword, but leave them in their scabbard. Take them out only when mother or his knights take out theirs, then kill them." King Arthur sent a man to mother. The man told him about Arthur's plans. There was no fight that day. Then Arthur met mother. The two men stood and talked. The king's knight stood near the king, and mother's knight stood near mother. Suddenly, something jumps on the foot of one mother's knight. He pulled out his sword and killed the animal. The other knight saw his sword and took out their swords. "This is an unhappy day," cried King Arthur, and they began to fight. They fought all day. When evening came, King Arthur saw only two of his knights, Sir Lucan and Sir Bedivere. His other knights were dead. Arthur cried when he saw his brave knights on the ground. Mordred stood with his sword and looked at his dead men on the ground. Then Arthur ran to Mordred and killed him. Mordred fell, but he won King Arthur with his sword. Sir Lucan and Sir Bedivere looked at the king to a little crouch near the lake, but after they arrived, Sir Lucan also died of his wounds. The sky was dark and it was a cool night. Arthur feels very weak. "I am also going to die now. It is time. Please take my sword." Excalibur, "Go to the lake and throw it into the water," he told Sir Bedivere. Sir Bedivere took a sword and walked to the lake. Then he looked at the beautiful sword. "Why do I have to throw this beautiful sword into the lake? They will not help King Arthur," he thought. She put Excalibur under a big stone and went back to the king. He said, "I did it. I threw your sword into the lake." "What did you see there?" the king asked. He was very cool and his wounds hurt him. "I saw the water, the sky, and the stones. That is all." "Then you did not do the right things. You did not throw the sword into the lake," King Arthur said. "Go again and throw Excalibur into the water, then come to me again." Sir Bedivere went again to the lake and took the sword from under the stone. He looked again and the beautiful sword and thought, "I cannot throw this sword into the water. I want to have it. Then I will always remember King Arthur." So again he puts the sword under a stone, and again he went back to King Arthur. "I saw the water, the sky, and the stones. Then the sword fell into the lake." He said, "Go again." The king said very sadly, "Go quickly, because I'm dying." "Oh, my king, I'm very sorry," said Bedivere. "I will do it now." He went back to the lake very quickly and got Excalibur. This time he threw it hard over the water. An arm came up out of the water and caught the sword. Then the arms took it down into the lake. Sir Bedivere went back and told the king about the arms. "Now," said King Arthur, "take me to lake quickly." Sir Bedivere carried the king to the lake. There was a long black boat of on the water, and some ladies in black dress were in the boat. The Lady of the Lake and Queen Morgan Le Fay were two of the ladies. He looked at their face and thought, I know this face. I knew these ladies when they lived. Now they are died, but I remember them. Please put me on the boat now, said King Arthur. So Sir Bedivere put him on the boat, and the ladies stood round him. I'm leaving you now, and I want you to tell the story of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. I will come again one day when my country asks for me, called King Arthur to believe Bedivere from the boat. Those were King's last words. The boat went out across the water. Sir Bedivere stood and cried, and that is the end of the story, King Arthur and his brave knights of the Round Table.